Hi, long time no YouTube. This is the third and final part in my smithing for the Ren Faire video series. The Ren Faire happened back in April and it's now October. That's 6 months later, almost half a year. But I recorded a video in May, I really did. And just lost the footage. Then when I found it again, wasn't really happy with the way that it turned out. So here we are. I decided to re-record the video. I once again have moved crap around in my space and I hope that you enjoy the new background behind me. So let's get to it for the Ren Faire. For the Ren Faire, I went with one of the largest groups that I've actually gone the Renaissance Fair with ever. I think it was the largest group ever. We had how many people did we have? Me, Keaton, Tony, Celine, Hank, Danny, and then Don, and then Eric, and then his friend, I can't remember his name. We had 9. We had a fellowship of 9. 9 people. We had 9 people together in our party, and everyone was dressed up except for one guy, but I'll get to that later. If you've seen my previous videos, I was working on constructing a costume to make myself look like a popular Game of Thrones theory, which is that Lyanna Stark was actually the Knight of the Laughing Tree, who is the mysterious knight that saved Howland Reed from getting beat up at the tourney of Harrenhal when a bunch of other salacious stuff was happening in the background. And that's just a theory that I really liked, and I really like the idea of having a lady knight with kind of like a play on the Crusaders attire and sigil with the red and white, but instead have it be a werewood tree and kind of turn the whole religious aspect on its head. Ended up purchasing a set of shoulders from Amazon because I just could not get my butt in gear and do everything together with school and making the costumes, and then also making my boyfriend's costume, who went as, I think it's either Durentius or Laurentius, pyromancer from the very first Dark Souls. So here's some photos of our costumes. I worked really hard on them, and I have to say I'm pretty freaking proud of them. I also wore a white cape once I got tired of wearing my shoulders because it kind of, without a gorget, it kind of chokes you a little bit, and the surcoat that I made just was not enough protection for my neck. But we looked really awesome. A lot of people would come up and talk to us because of our costumes and ask us where we got stuff, or just completely be in character and interact with us. The rest of our group was comprised of my friends Hang and Danny, Hang was a Archer Robin Hood inspired character, and her husband Danny was a bard. Next, my friend Celine and her husband Tony were Arwen and Aragorn from, of course, Lord of the Rings. And their friend John sadly wasn't in costume, but he kind of ended up going with everyone because the joke became that he was in his own bogus adventure, since he, either Bill or Ted, time traveled to the past to save the princesses. And it was really fun. That became the joke at the end of it all. And then this actor Eric, who I had worked on a film called Santaland with, he decided to meet up with us there, and he was in a Viking helmet and chainmail, which was super awesome. So all together we looked really badass, the 9 of us. Kind of took us a while because it was a lot of crap that you have to get together and get on. And once we finally made it into the actual fair, this handy dandy little tin cup that came with a little attachment thing to it, and it was on my belt, and I just started drinking mead. As soon as I walked through those doors, just started drinking mead, and I did not stop. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you probably saw this video.
Me bo. I love talking about me bo. Like Merida. Me bo.
In which I thought I was Merida or something, and just would not stop talking about bows. But that aside, all of the meat aside, I had a really good time, and I set out on getting a few items that I had been thinking about purchasing when I went to the Ren Faire. I got this necklace that I'm wearing, but it is a really cute little Celtic sword dagger necklace with a moonstone attached to it. The guy at the booth was really sweet because I told him that I was thinking of getting it online, but then once I realized I was coming to the Ren Fair, I decided that I was just going to buy it at the Ren Fair. So he said that I was being really sweet and let me pick out the stone that I wanted, and the one that I picked had the most iridescent blue sheen to it, so I think it looks really pretty, and that was really nice of him to let me do. The other things that I got, tea, loose leaf tea. I'm a really big fan of tea. I don't drink coffee. I don't know why. I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. It's too bitter for me. So the two teas I got are white grapefruit, which is a really nice, relaxing white tea with grapefruit bits in it, and it's really nice and refreshing. When I purchased it, the woman told me that I had to relax when I drank it or else I was doing it wrong. So whenever I drink this, I always try to make myself mindful of being in a relaxing mindset, and the tea actually really does help. It's really nice and really refreshing. The other one I got on the completely opposite end of spectrum of teas is this one called Dragon Well, and it is a intense green tea that I like to drink in the mornings to wake up. And if you're interested in purchasing these teas, they are called Spice Trader Teas, and they are located in Vacaville, California. For those of you who don't habla español, means Cowville, California. Yeah, they grow their own tea, they dry it, and then they sell it. And they have a really awesome stamp card that's good if you go to their booth at the Ren Fair. No matter how many years it is, if you get 5, then you get another tea for free. So I have 2 down. I'm probably going to get 3 next year and then end up with an extra tea for free. After I purchased my items, I also set out to find a person who's always at the Ren Fair. There's always this guy who dresses up like Gandalf the Grey, and sometimes he has Radagast with him, who is his friend, and they're just always there at the Ren Fair every single weekend. And it's a tradition of mine to try and find Gandalf and take a photo with him because he's just such a nice guy. And I posted the photo on Instagram, and he actually ended up following me. So if you went to the Ren Fair and took a photo with Gandalf, here's his handle, go add him. He's a really nice guy, and I look forward to seeing him at the fair again next year. After that, my friends and I just wandered around. We didn't really see any jousting or stuff. We were more interested in trying our hands at throwing knives, looking at all of the different weapons, eating a butt ton of meat pies, me being annoying with my Merida voice apparently. And then the total cherry on the day that made me feel like all of the stress, sweat, and tears that I put into my costume was worth it was when I saw this gorgeous babe who was dressed up as Marjorie freaking Tyrell. And she's like a dead ringer for her. And then when you went up to talk to her, because of course I saw her and I was like, oh my god, Marjorie Tyrell, she's so pretty, she looks just like her. I walked by her and she looks at me and goes, oh, your armor is beautiful. Oh, swoon. Marjorie Tyrell just said that she liked my armor. So of course I had to start talking to her. So we were chatting and she just had it down. She had the accent down, she had the cute little perfect cat smile down, and it was so nice to see her there after what happened to her this season on Game of Thrones. I have to say, that was a major bummer. So I was talking with this really awesome cosplayer, and she was just completely set in character, and she got really serious and goes, oh, by the way, if you've seen any stalks running around, be sure and give them the boot for me. Which made me think, okay, she might not know who I am, so this is my opportunity to say something back to her. Since I am Lyanna Stark, I am a Stark, but why would Marjorie Tyrell hate Starks? I don't know. Would that be because of Sansa and her seeming like she's in love with Joffrey? Probably. I guess that's it. She did her homework. She did her character homework. That's why she wouldn't like Starks, because at that point, the character that she's portraying with the dress that she's wearing, she would be in love with Joffrey, or having to seem like she is. But yeah, she had it down, so I responded, my lady, I am sorry to tell you that I am Lyanna Stark, and the North remembers. She laughed, her friends laughed, they were all in costume. It was a really great time. My friends and I hung out the whole day. Everyone either bought something, we all drank way too much mead, had way too many meat pies, but it was so much fun and so worth it. Everyone got a ton of compliments on their costumes. I'm sorry I didn't bring my big DSLR camera with me to the Ren Fair. It's just with all of this crap that I had on, I really did not want to lug my big camera up there and have to have something else on me that I was worried about. So maybe next year I'll come up with like a ranger outfit or something a little bit lighter so that I can bring my camera with me, or maybe I can find a slimmer camera that I can bring with me to the Ren Fair so that I can vlog it. But in the meantime, if you like the little clips that I did post, be sure to follow me on Snapchat and let me know what Ren Fairs are like in your area. Guys, okay, when I lived in Arizona, the Ren Fair there had this booth, World Hut. Well, okay. The Arizona Ren Fair is actually like really legit because they have this like place that they built. So there are these buildings that just stay there year round, and they had this big building that had this porch like area in front of it, and across the top it said adopt a noble hound, and you could hang out with greyhounds and adopt retired racers, which is a old English dog that they use to hunt hares. So I love the breed. My dog is a Whippet, which is a smaller version of the Greyhound. My dog before him was part Greyhound. I love that. I wish that the Ren Fair out here in California had a booth like that. Sadly, they don't. They have amazing tea and jewelers instead, but I think every Ren Fair has really awesome jewelry too. Let me know about the Ren Fair in your area. Be sure to leave a comment and like if you enjoy going to Ren Fairs. Thanks for watching. I have no idea what video I'm going to make next, but I'll see you then. Bye.
The Monday after Easter weekend is always awkward for me at work because everyone's like, oh, Ariana, did you go to church? Do what you do for Easter. And I'm just like, I don't worship the new gods. I keep the old.